Hi everyone. I have got a March wrap up for you guys. This is all the books that I read in March, including I'll tell you how many I read and the pages. Sorry, someone is feeling very affectionate today. What, Mister? You are. If you can't hear him purring Asmar right there on the microphone. Um, I did read technically 13 books on a technicality. I read 13 books. Um, which was 4,120 pages. So, the only books I will not be talking about really will be the Good Girls Guide set because I have done vlogs for you, so it's all in detail over there. I think the only one will be given a spoiler for is probably Falling for Alaska. I really wasn't as fond of that one. I'll explain that when I get there. Yeah, yeah. So let's get this show on the road. Hopefully, my speaking is clear. Hopefully. So, to kickstart the month off, I read Love Theoretically. Yep, by Ali Hazelwood. I gave this a 4.5 star and I gave it a 3 spice. The whole idea roughly is that she goes for an interview to try and get a new job so she can branch out her career. He's like so she's a theoretical physicist, he is an experimental physicist, and like she basically hates him is pretty much where we're going with this. She goes from hating him to caring about him and stuff like that at the end. She also happens to be fake dating his brother because she's on this like fake girlfriend thing. But that's kind of cute. Then there was no relationship between her and the brother. There was just she was just going to family functions to get family off his back. But yeah, so that was a 4.5 star with a 3 spice for me. And the cat's just walking around like, huh, hi. Next I read Scale of the Dragon, which is a YA fantasy. I gave this 4 star. It was a very enjoyable read. The idea is the main female main character, she had an accident as a child, has a dragon scale embedded in her leg. She can now sense when there are dragons around. The person that brought her, he hunts them, and she just wants freedom. That's pretty much it, really. That's basically the premise of it all. Um, yeah, I gave it 4 star. It was still fun to read. It's like the first book in the series. I'm pretty sure it's like 5 books in that series. Then I read House of Ash and yes, House of Ash and Shadow, which is book 1 in this series. I can't remember what the series is called. I think it was called Gilded City series. I think. Yeah, Gilded City. This is book 1. There are 3 books I'm pretty sure that I've seen on Amazon. So yeah, I guess it's 4 star. It is. Oh, myself. Gave it a 4 star. It is a YA fantasy romantasy. Basically, our female main character, she was abandoned in a village as a baby. No idea who her real parents are. She does find out. I don't want to tell you that, like who they are, obviously. She's also cursed that if she touches anybody, she'll feel immense pain, where it can end up leading her to, there's this one guy that touches her and she doesn't feel anything, like any pain at all. She gets super excited, finds out she has powers, and there we go. Basically, that's the rough idea. I don't want to give too much away because it is a fun read, and if you haven't read it, I would definitely recommend it. Sorry, the cat's all over Darren. Then I read Engines of Alchemancy. Okay, this one, aside from the fact that it was a big, chunky guy, like bigger than my head. Okay, I gave this a 3.75 star. Now, reading it, I couldn't tell if it was YA fantasy or normal fantasy. I thought we had a love interest at one point. Clearly wasn't that case by the end. I feel like it was very confusing, too much jumping between the characters, and suddenly we got a third POV in there halfway through. I got hella confused super quick. Um, Everyone thinks that this one guy is one person. Turns out he wasn't, by the way. But yeah, it was just some of it you can kind of see what's going to happen. Other parts you're like, huh. Well, I didn't see that happening because it was dumb. So, yeah. Do with that as you will. That's book 1 in that series. Maybe it gets better as it goes along. I don't have the other books in the series, so. Then I read Wildside with one of my friends. We did it as a buddy read. This is the first and only 5-star of March for me. I've got the cat staring at me. I've got Darren staring at me from the sofa. They're both on my side as well. Anyway, I give this a 5-star for Spice. I love Elsie books. Okay, she's always had this, I don't know, she's got a way with words, you know? If you haven't followed this series, this is book 3 in the Rose Hill series. This follows Reese and Tabitha. They are basically, their whole story is they were attracted at first sight, then enemies to lovers kind of, well, enemies to lovers, yeah. That's pretty much how it ends up in the long run. Pretty sure it's the trope. She's just fighting for the right to have her nephew, and he's fighting for the right to have the same nephew because the sister wanted him to have the nephew, but she wants to have the nephew because, you know, he's all she knows as far as she knows. There's a lot of lies going on in here, lots of clashing of things. Her sister did do a lot of damage. Yeah, she made me want to a lot of the time. So yeah, 5-star. If you didn't see that. Then I read this little filler. This is called Cuffed by Annie Renee. Now I think this is more of like a novella thing, like short erotica type thing. Turns out it's actually book 1. There's a second book. So obviously there's no rating, but I did give it 4 spice. It was quite spicy at some parts, and then other parts were like, you just gave me graphic detail like 2 minutes ago, and now you're giving me like less. Okay, cool. It was just short and spicy, guys. If you want something to just fill in between books, I guess I would definitely recommend. I guess. If you're not into spicy stuff, don't read it. Then, as we know, I read Killjoy. Like I said, I'm not going to go into detail. We did already do a reading vlog for this one, so we already know. But if we just want to remind it on my rating, it was 4.5 star. Everything else is in the reading vlog, including the rating. Right. Then I read Falling for Alaska. This is the only book I am literally about to complain to you about. Okay, you're going to get a spoiler. Full spoiler. I gave this a 3.5 star, and I'm not even sure if I actually enjoyed it enough to want to keep this book. I'm still I'm an iron on that. I don't want to see it on the shelf, but do I want to see it on the shelf? Does it get better? I don't know. I don't think it will. Right, okay, so the premise, guys, is she gets left her aunt's house, great aunt's house, as an inheritance. She moves in, she starts her small business. Good for her, girl power, yes. She upcycles furniture. That is great. He is a marketing expert. He works from home too. Runs his own business. Good for him. Literally, right off the bat of their meeting, he's basically complaining about the noise that she's making. And then he calls his lawyer in order to get her basically kicked out, kind of thing. Anyway, so they have like a semi-functional neighbor relationship. He still annoys her to the point where she gets angry and storms off all the time. Then she kind of helps him out every now and then. And then she feels like he throws it in her face, and it does kind of sound like he's throwing it back in her face. We get to the point where they're possibly becoming acquaintances. Then we hit the end. He's asking her to marry him. And she said yes. Yes, they both have attraction to each other, but neither of them admitted that before that. Neither of them, they hadn't been dating. There was not even a kiss in here. Was there? Or there might have been one kiss. Might have been one. That's how unrealistic it was. No relationship. I'm pretty sure I won't be keeping this, to be quite fair with you. I'm going to be going off and leaving it in a charity shop somewhere. But the fact is, I read it. I put myself through it. Will I do it again? No, I won't. So yeah, I'm probably gonna get it. I wasn't up for debate with this one, guys. I didn't like it. If you've read it and you liked it, that's amazing. I did not. Not that much. So there's that. Then I read Good Girls Guide to Murder. I gave this a 4.75 star. We don't need to explain why. We have the vlog. Want to see that? You can go and check it out. Just like the Killjoy one. Whew. Then I read Baby Dragon Cafe. I gave this a 3.75 star. I probably had higher expectations because of all the other ratings I've seen over everywhere. Realistically, I saw it everywhere, and I was so excited to read it. Didn't quite live up to my expectations. This was supposed to be a buddy read. My friend DNF'd it, like soft DNF'd it, because it wasn't what she was expecting. It was just, it felt so YA, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't class itself as a YA. It felt YA reading it. Like I felt like I was reading a book designed for kids. Seriously. Though putting that aside, the storyline itself was fairly nice and easy to follow. Okay, I enjoyed that. I love that she owns a cafe. She's the only one that lets dragons in. I love that he's a gardener and his dragon is just a bit unruly. I love how she helps him and the dragon bonds with them both. That's amazing considering she's not from like a dragon family where he is. So with that all aside, there were still some really good points. It just read like a YA. Like I felt like I was reading a book that's designed for like 16 maybe and up. Not quite old, like 18 up. But other than that, the whole storyline was good. So if I'm putting like that's probably what knocked it down was I'm 100% sure this was classified as an adult romance, well, romantasy. It just didn't read like one. Okay. Then we went into Good Girl Bad Blood. Now we do have the reading vlog that just came up last week. So this was another 4.75 star. I did enjoy this series, guys, honestly. You know, I'm not going to go into detail. We have our full spoiler reading vlog. Yeah, we have that. Then I read Cinders, which is book 5 in this dark horror fairy tale retelling. I give this a 4.5 star. I read the others, they are behind me. They're kind of like, so the first set we've got Hansel and Gretel type thing, where the girls are kidnapped, held hostage. Was in Gretel. Hansel is where he's the kidnapper, but it's kind of like what he went through before. Then we've got Red and Wolf, which is basically a girl that's also been kidnapped and basically kept. And yeah, there are very dark themes in here, guys. Wolf is basically okay. So in Red, she's trying to get revenge for what happened to her. In Wolf, she's being captive, and one of the girls in there, I'm pretty sure is the one that's in here. One of the girls from in here. In here, we are at a carnival, like carnival freak show type thing. It does say on the back freak show and carnival. So yeah, she goes with a group of friends. She does not leave with the group of friends, and it is like a carnival of horrors. Does it say oh, trapped in a carnival of horrors? Says it on the back. I've not had any issues with these types of books. I loved them. That's why it's a 4.5 star for me, guys. I don't want to put them down. We already know I'm a bit unhinged. My reading style is unhinged. Okay, I can go from cute fluffy romance to stuff like this, and these do remind me of horror films, which makes it even more funnier. Like I'm like, oh, I've seen something like this in a horror movie, and I loved that movie. Let's take that with a pinch of salt, shall we? Then I read, which you will have the vlog for. It's not gone up yet. It'll be up next week. Is As Good as Dead. So this was a 4.75 star. Everything is in the vlog when it comes out. I recommend reading it if you want to know my thoughts and opinions and my rating and my review of it fully at the end of the video. I love this book, by the way. Love the series. If overall the whole Good Girl series is probably a 5 star, but individually as an individual books, I rated them as well. But as my overall, yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that in the like my kind of like wrap up bit in the last vlog anyway. Then I read Out of the Gate, which is the kind of prequel to before this one. Last time I said it, it didn't sound like I was saying this one, so anyway, Out of the Gate I gave two spice because Elsie, what are you doing? Hello? You're known for Spice Girl. It might be a novella, but you still gotta put spice in. And I gave it a 4-star because I felt that really did start the storyline, especially after reading already just starting this one, 2 chapters, and we've already got Dermot mentioned in this one. I felt like now we've got a bit more background story on that whole situation, and it felt good to have that. So yeah. And now obviously I haven't finished it because I have literally just started it yesterday. There's no way I'll be finishing it before the end of March, so it will hopefully get finished in April. It is a buddy read as well, so I will be doing this one as well. And obviously you already know what April's reads tomorrow. So, and this one isn't in there because it wasn't picked out before that. So yeah, that's it for my March reading. It turns out I actually read 14 books if you include the novella. I didn't at first, so that's probably why I got confused. But yeah, so yay me.